Hi Henry, how's it going?
Good. Still alive?
Yeah, I know it's been a while since podcasting. I felt like it's been a long time. Want to try a different format this time around.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
Yeah, podcast takes a lot of time, and I feel like maybe it's because I'm nitpicking all the time, so that you always have to close one eye and just let it be.
Or you can YOLO and do like podcast in a live format, so there's no editing.
Well,
You
yeah,
record and you just publish it.
I think last time when we did it in Drawcom Berlin, it was fine, right?
Drycon or Google I/O?
No, yeah,
Oh yes,
sorry, it's
no.
Google I/O, Google I/O, yeah.
Yeah, Google I/O is one shot, although technically it's not one shot.
Yeah, technically it's perfect, and then just had to stage things up a bit. Yeah, I think it's like almost 1 year already.
Yes, and when was the last recording for you?
That same time as well.
We should do more.
Yeah, we should do more. Yeah, I think the idea is that try to keep it casual, and then so that no pressure all the time to do the editing. But I never really asked, like, what do you think about the last episode that I recorded, the editing and the sound bites?
Nice.
I see.
I'm happy. So
Uh, because I did a bit of rebranding.
yes,
It feels a bit different.
especially on the social media that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like a common format now. So nowadays, like you see on YouTube, like for example, like Marcus Brownlee, they have the waveform, the short one,
Mm-hmm.
and the original, like the 1 hour, 2 hours format. And same for a lot of like those YouTube channel. Like if they record like a 2 hour section, then they have those clip bite-sized podcasts. Then you can just listen for 1 to 2 minutes, which is very very useful
Yeah,
because like the whole 2 hours you don't really care the whole 2 hours, right? You
I
just
see.
want to listen to a certain section.
Yeah, sometimes you're not interested in the whole thing and just want to, like, for example, recently I did something like this, like, for example, Apple had this iOS 26, right?
Oh
A- And
yes.
then when you hear people's thoughts, you only care about the glass part. You don't care about anything else. Although, like, yeah, the iPad is really nice, the Mac is really nice, but you really want to hear about what do they think about the liquid glass.
Yeah, liquid glass is interesting, but I'm using an iPhone that doesn't support Apple Intelligent.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they're like 60% of the feature doesn't apply to me.
But I was wondering though, are you concerned that liquid glass gonna take a performance hit on your iPhone
Um
12 mini?
I mean, it depends on the optimization done on Apple side. Like I tried the first beta on my old iPhone SE2. It was terrible.
I see. All right.
But that was the first or second developer beta, so we will see for the final one. But yeah, I seriously doubt like how well it will work on older iPhone.
But is it terrible all the way or just terrible in the beginning?
Yeah, it's almost all the way. Like it doesn't feel like iPhone anymore.
I see. All right.
It,
Yeah.
it feel like those mid-range Android phone.
Uh, because imagine all the physics, you have to calculate all the light. Like for example, even
Yes.
games when they do what they call that ray tracing,
Oh
they
yes.
take out so much CPU, and then I think Liquid Glass is gonna do the same thing as well.
Yeah, like they're doing those refraction, the refraction with the A, not the reflection. Yeah, they do it live when you scroll, like you can see all the lights, the light bouncing here and there, the rainbow effect.
Yeah.
Like as a web developer, if someone asks me to do it, I don't know how to do it. The only way I can do it is with some 3D engine with WebGL, that kind of stuff. But with CSS, hell no.
I
I
see.
would say technically it's impossible to do.
Because I think Figma they managed to do something like that for their
Yes, but they did it with WebGL or
okay.
similar technology. So,
All right. True.
but it's impressive what the engineer at Apple can do.
All right.
Like, yeah, the effect is like they're like just flexing their skill. Like this is what we can do,
Yeah.
and they actually deliver. So
Imagine they spend the time on actually making Siri work better.
I mean, that's the goal, right? Because they can't, so they need to build something to distract us. So we talk about liquid gas instead of the Apple AI.
But on another hand, Google with their new Material Tree Expressive, not sure whether you've seen it yet.
Yes.
I think the one takes a
Yes.
very, very different route than what Apple has in mind.
Yeah, for consumer developer and designer perspective, it's actually very good. In the last few years, we have been seeing like company copying each other. Like everything looks the same. No matter if you're using Android, using iOS, it looks the same, right? But
Yeah.
with Apple Liquid Glass and the Google Material 3 Expressive, now they are going for completely different direction.
Okay.
For me, this is wonderful because now as a consumer, like we have choice. If you don't like this, you have another completely different option.
But it also make it difficult to switch between platforms, right? For example, if you are really used to the flat design of Google and suddenly you want to switch to this very strange looking translucent Windows Vista kind of feel on Apple, then
Yes,
there's
it
some
is
limit.
Buena Vista.
Yeah, you might take some time to adjust. But my question is that since you attend Google I/O Connect this year, do you see them talk about
Yes.
Material Tree Expressive more?
I mean, like there's one booth about Material 3 Expressive, but yeah, I mean, Google being Google, their priority is still about AI.
All right. So do you think there's more AI talks this year than last year, or somewhat different?
I would say it's Google AIO Connect.
I see.
Yeah, it's like I would say like more than 60% of the content are related to AI, and there are some are non-AI, which is everything else. So I mean, like if you are AI developer, you love AI, then yeah, it's the best conference for you. If not, then maybe no.
Yeah, because I do realize that the conversation between AI has changed a lot since last year. Like, do you feel it?
Yeah, I do feel it's like a bit different like compared to last year. Last year they just watching the Google I/O keynote. It's kind of obvious that last year they still don't know the direction, what they really want to do with AI. But I'll say this year is kind of more better. They know what they want to do, and partially it's also what the consumer wants. For example, like last year they did, how should I say it? It was like last year and 2 years ago
Mm-hmm.
in the Google I/O keynote, they just throw all the number. They say like we have like how many parameters, but if you are not into AI, everything is like meaningless to you. They
Yeah.
just show all the number, like how powerful we are using number, but not something everyone can understand. But for this year, like I mean, like the whole keynote is kind of more interesting and it's easier to understand even you are not very technical, you are not very into AI. I mean, that they launched like for example like the Gemini Live, that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which for normal consumer it has direct application, right? It's something you can use every day, and it's also a good way to prove how powerful that Google AI is instead of just showing the numbers.
All right. I do notice that there's a new term recently. I just learned about it. It's called vibe coding.
Oh yes.
What do you think
I mean,
about it?
there are two things that everyone is talking about. The non-AI people is talking about white coding, and the AI, the developer are talking about MCP.
All right.
So yeah,
But
there are two things.
if a person had never heard about vibe coding before, how would you describe vibe coding?
YOLO. Yeah, I mean like the whole goal of white coding, like from Google perspective, is like Firebase Studio. Basically, you just ask AI to build everything for you. Like instead of writing code, you're writing prompt, and they will figure out everything for you. If it doesn't work, then you write more prompt for the AI to fix your code.
I see.
At the end of the day, basically there's no point for you to look at the code because the thing you care is the end product.
Have your
In some way it's good, but most of the way it's terrible.
I see. Has your designer come to you yet to do some vibe coding with you?
No, I mean Figma has the similar thing. Instead of like web coding, they have the web designing.
All right.
So you ask AI, like you put your existing product screenshot,
Okay.
and it just ask the Figma AI that I want to add this feature, and they will draw it for you. But most of the time it looks terrible because unless you are building some very generic application, then it works fine. But if you are building a very specific, especially like B2B product,
Mm-hmm.
most of the time they don't have the data to compare because almost all the B2B products are internal. The design are not shared with public, right? So from that perspective, it kind of don't know what to do because it doesn't have enough data.
But you're talking about B2B, you mean back-end architecture?
Oh no.
Or you're talking
Oh no,
about
I mean like business to business product.
But it doesn't matter, right? A design is a design, right? Even if it's meant to business or business to customer.
Yes, but I mean the problem is all the AI they need data, right? They
Yeah.
need good data.
Yeah.
But the moment they don't have the data, they don't have the example, there are not much it can do.
Could you give an example that vibe coding couldn't achieve something B2B is doing?
Yeah, I mean like, okay, for example, web coding can do very well. If you ask AI to build a weather app,
Mm-hmm.
it can do it very, very well because there are like 10 of thousands of weather app design they can just use. But let's the airline check-in system that used by the check-in agent.
Okay.
No one ever see that design before. There are like maybe like less than 10 posts on the internet, like maybe 100 screenshot. So yeah, on that case, then it's there are less data, there are less open data, and most of the time the designer need to think themselves, and even the designer don't have any idea at all,
I see.
right? Because there's no reference you can copy from.
I think for a flight check-in system shouldn't be too different because it's technically, if you think about it, it's just basically like a attendance system, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think the one is
Then and it also depends on how good is your prompt. Then you
yeah.
cannot be too specific, right?
Yeah, I felt like a limitation that I can think off the top of my head. For example, if you work for a logistic company and then you need a lot of specialized tools or specialized workflow,
Yes.
in that regard, maybe they can achieve something similar but not exactly tune into your logistic needs. Like it could be a Uber Eats clone versus an actual product that a logistic company will be using.
You need to be like think out of the box. Like instead of the actual product you are building, you need to think in a more common product. Yeah, it's a good example. Like for example, let's say you are building a cargo booking system.
Mm-hmm.
There are less open data about this, but what if you just rephrase it, say like instead of like booking a container, you say booking a flight.
All right.
There are like way more airline booking system design on the internet, right?
Yeah,
Then in this case, then yeah, maybe the Figma can do it better.
I see.
So yeah, the prompt. I mean, that's why prompt engineering is big thing right now, right?
Yeah. And I think all of this happens around this few months ago, I think. Because last year when I was back in Malaysia, I was talking with friends who work at Grab, where they dedicate like a whole month or 2 months to just focus on trying to integrate AI into their workflow. And then they couldn't get something useful or something helpful out. And then they kind of abandoned the project. But I think if they would have the same conversation and exercise today, I think they would have a very different outcome.
Yes, the AI technology they mature very very fast. Like compared to last year, it can't do anything. This year they can do. I mean, it still cannot do everything, but it can do much more than compared to like 1 year ago. But I mean, partially it's also what you want to do, right? AI still cannot do everything, but it can do way more stuff now.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, based on my observation, I do realize ChatGPT specifically that they hallucinate a bit lesser now. Do you have the same observation as well?
Yes. Depends on the context. Some, yes, on more generic stuff, yes, it know what they are saying and it generate more consistent and accurate result. But recently I tried to use it on music theory,
All right.
but apparently they still don't have enough data on music theory. It's still trying to give it some nonsense. Like I just asked them a very common question that people play piano ask.
Yeah.
Which finger I should use for this part of the music?
All right.
It's like do re mi fa so. Like which finger should I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I should use 1, 2, 3, then turn my hand to back to 1 and 2.
I see.
AI just give me some random number.
Well, AI always struggle with fingers, right?
So that is the problem. It's because of finger. It's not AI can't do stuff. It's because yeah, anything related to finger, it can't do.
Yeah, because to them, there's no such thing as fingers. We are limited by 10 fingers, but they are not bound by this limitation.
Yeah, maybe the AI was thinking like, what do you mean by you need 10 finger? Like you can just generate ATS finger and 1 finger for 1 key
Yeah,
and you solve all the problem.
I see.
The problem is not AI, the problem is you don't have enough fingers.
Yep, it's like asking someone with 20 fingers, like which finger should I press? And like, that kind of question that just doesn't make sense. What do you mean you don't have the sixth finger? But how about code-wise? Have you integrate more with how you code with AI?
Yes, I mean sometimes on certain topic, yes, it's used not like generating code itself, like on the editor itself, it's getting more mature. Like you can provide the context like for GitHub Copilot and VS Code. You can tell who you are. I mean like everyone has a certain coding style, right?
Yep.
And you can tell the AI to like I like this style more and this is how I write my code. I always use this format. I always write in this way. And the AI is actually smart enough to kind of imitate the way how you write the code
Alright.
and actually following it instead of just like random copy paste from the internet.
Do you use Cursor or you still stick with Visual Studio?
Unfortunately, because of my company, there are a lot of like corporate restrictions, so
I
we are
see.
only allowed to use VS Code with GitHub Copilot.
Okay. Recently, yeah, I've been trying a bit more AI now. I've been using, although I'm an Android developer, but
Okay.
because there's no direct integration with Claude, that's why I'm using Visual Studio Code and Cline. Not sure whether you heard of Cline before. It's like decline
Decline?
without the DE.
Okay. So it's Cline.
Yeah.
Cline.
So Cline works like a middle person between your code and Claude. Whenever we want to execute something, we ask something on ChatGPT, Copilot, or Claude, they always do it for you straight away, right?
Yes.
And for Cline, you have this different modes. You have the plan mode and the act mode. So before you tell the AI what you want to do, you plan it out with them. Make sure whether they understand your requirements rather than just bullshitting about something.
Interesting.
So sometimes like you want to generate what they call a new data layer, for example, and
Yes.
then you have a new microservice, and then you want to have this new data layer that you existing already have. So what do? You kind of tell client like, hey, I want this microservice, let's say the voucher microservice, into this existing data structure. So please refer to my account, like how I do account. And then based on that, can you build out the repository level? Can you build out the data remote, the remote data source and kind of thing? And then during the plan mode, it can tell you how it's gonna do it, where it's gonna generate before it actually does that thing. Versus when the person do it for you, like everything is wrong, and then everything costs money, right?
Yes, but actually this is what almost every company is doing. Like it's very similar to Firebase Studio. It's also very similar to the new AI feature in VS Code, the built-in one.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell them what you want, then they will ask like a lot of like follow-up question to make sure everything is correct
I see.
instead of just generating stuff. Actually,
Yeah.
recently I did one section of wipe coding.
Oh la la.
TLDR, 80% works, 20% doesn't work.
I see.
But the 30% is partially because of me. So I want to have I want to build a home assistant extension.
Mm-hmm.
So what I need is a Node.js server that fetch weather data
Yeah.
and do some math and return a JSON response. Sounds simple. Yes, AI can do it like very, very well. In like the whole process take 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But the fun part is when I want to wrap the whole thing in a Docker container.
Oh.
Okay, that is fine, but I have some weird issue in my home network that IPv6 is not working on my home server.
Okay.
So when I try to run, it doesn't work. Like it trying to npm ci trying to install the dependency, it could not install and it returns some error that I don't understand. And instead of googling, I just ask AI to like, what is this? Try to fix it. That's the point. Like AI try to generate nonsense instead of like doing anything helpful.
But I was wondering, you said that your V6 it's not working, but wouldn't
No,
that
the IPv6.
yeah, but wouldn't it fall back to V4, which is more stable?
For some reason it doesn't. It just time out.
Ah, okay. But what kind of prompts do you ask? Like, do you tell them like, could you fix this for me, or do you like, V6 is not working, fix it?
Yeah, I mean at the beginning, like I don't really know what is it. I just copy paste the whole error message from my server to my to the VS Code via Copilot.
Mm-hmm.
It tried, but it could not get it to the exact point. Like it say like, yeah, maybe it's some network problem, but it could not figure out it's related to IPv6.
I see. Okay.
Then what I was wondering is like, I thought my router is sending IPv6 correctly. Then maybe it's like the networking layer on Docker is incorrectly set up.
Ah,
Then I asked Copilot, he said he agreed with me. But
okay.
no, I did set up the Docker IPv6 networking correctly. The problem is on my home router.
Ah,
Something is wrong. No, it's actually the part is correct. It's the IPv6 DNS.
I see. All right.
I mean, that's the downside of having your home server because you do everything yourself.
Yep.
And something break and you don't understand.
I see.
And you're trying to blame someone, which is Docker in this case, then ask AI to do it. AI also couldn't understand anything. But at the end of the day, I just set the registry to IPv4 server and
I
everything
see.
works.
So the problem is that, is it correct to say that because Copilot just works on the level, on the code layer, for example, the configuration in the Docker and the V6 and the V4, it doesn't have access. That's why it couldn't help to solve the problem for you. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I mean partially like maybe the AI can do more if it has direct access to my home server.
I see.
and you can try to run some command to see like what's going on. I mean, at the end, I still need to use Stack Overflow, which is actually the most helpful place.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has the exactly the same problem as me, then yeah, at the end of the day, it took me like, I talked to AI for like 20 minutes, half an hour, it doesn't work. I switched to Google, I got a solution in like 5 minutes.
I see. Interesting. But is it an old issue or just
Yeah, it's a, I mean, the problem is there since the assistant of IPv6.
I see. So it's most likely that Copilot has the data, but it just couldn't connect the dots.
Yes, correct.
All right.
And also, to be honest, there are not a lot of information about IPv6 because although it's not new, it's still not very common.
I see. Okay.
And IPv6 is, to be honest, is yes, it is complicated. And
Yeah.
that's the reason, like if you look on internet, a lot of people saying like IPv6 is bad because they don't have the deep understanding of IPv6. I
Okay.
mean, at this point, like everyone know how IPv4 works, but IPv6 is still a new, not new technology, but it's a less common technology.
I see. I never knew about that.
When was the last time you opened a website using IPv6 address?
I mean, because you have DNS, so you never have to worry about that. But I thought everything it's what do you call that? Backward compatible with V6 and V4.
With DNS, yes, it will fall back. But if you're accessing directly with the IPv6, then maybe no.
Okay. All right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like at the end, I spent another hour learn what actually is IPv6, why it looks so complicated.
I see. Well, the funny thing is that I actually had the same problem with the V4 and V6 with my smart light.
Oh yes, I mean that's the reason why I have
Yeah.
IPv6 enabled at home.
I see. Because if you because for my case, V6 doesn't work, but V4 is fine.
Okay, for my case, because I'm using Matter,
Mm-hmm.
the IoT protocol,
Yeah.
but there are some cases you must use IPv6 for Matter, otherwise it will not work.
Strange. Okay. Maybe you have a fancier equipment.
Yes, when it works.
Speaking of vibe coding, yeah, to be honest, recently I also did some vibe coding as well.
Yes. Is it
Uh,
the game thing you built?
no, it's actually an Android plugin. So the funny thing is that there's this plugin that a lot of Android developers use because whenever you want to import an image to your project, you need to have different skills, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, because you have a high
As a web developer, oh my god, this is so complicated.
yeah, because you have a higher density phone and you have a lower density phone, and sometimes it doesn't scale well if you use the same image asset. And then Android, you always have to break them apart. So for Google in 2025, you still couldn't natively do that. So you always have to rely on the plugin. So a plugin, it takes one image and it breaks to all different density buckets for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Xcode also could not do it off the box.
I'm not sure about that. Could be.
That's the reason. I mean, like just for the icon, that's why you have like the icon kitchens, right?
Yeah. There was a plugin that I rely on for a very long time. I think it was built 10 years
Okay.
ago. It was built 10 years ago.
Okay.
And the person just disappears.
Welcome to open source.
So the funny thing is that you rely so much of your career on this little plugin to do this simple thing, and then the person
Okay.
just disappears. And then during these 10 years, sometimes it breaks, but sometimes some random guy on the internet would put like a one-line fix and everything will work perfectly again. So there was two times, two people did this magical thing that makes everything work again, just a one line of code. But when Android Studio Meerkat came out, I think it just breaks everything. So it doesn't work. So basically, the 10-year plugin is on a Gradle version 2.
Okay.
And today is version 8 already for a long time. And then it just breaks.
So it was using some very old API that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Because it's an open source, so I would think somebody will magically fix it again with a one line of code or something. And you hope this angel in the middle of nowhere will come down, fix this bug, and upload it somewhere, and then you can live on, go along with your day. But nobody, how to say, came to the rescue.
It's your time. It's
Yeah.
your time to do it.
But the funny thing is, like, I only have 4 more days of ChatGPT Plus, and then I'm like, you know what?
Okay.
And you know what? Let me try to utilize the best as I can.
Does it work?
Surprisingly, it works. I think
and it's fixed.
it's
So
ported.
how many
I won't.
how
I wouldn't say it's fixed because the code base
yeah,
is
you
so
fork the repo.
no. The code base is so old. It's almost difficult to
Okay.
fix because there's a lot of deprecated code. Sometimes this is a very old method of doing this. He tries to over-engineer some parts of it, and then basically what you need is just you drag one image, you scale it down, and voila. Then I decide to write it from scratch.
And how many stars do you get so far?
Well, you haven't gave me a star yet, so it's only still 0 stars for now.
0 stars. So I need to do it, and you need to put the link in the description. So
Yeah, yeah, I'll
everyone listening to this, go star.
yeah, I'll put a link in the description. But surprisingly, in the plugin that I uploaded to JetBrains, I got 100 downloads in just 1 week.
Ooh.
So
I mean, there are like more developers, maybe thousand or 10 of thousand or 100 of thousand developer having the same issue.
could be.
Or I mean, maybe they don't have the issue yet.
Yeah,
Until they need to upload the photo, then they will know.
yeah.
If someone asks in the GitHub issue, then yeah, you need to no. Then I should go instead of you. I mean, you can't really do self promotion. So I will go like, hey, I found this very useful plugin. It works for me.
All right, sounds good.
Yes, then people will go down on you. So is there any like issue on the assisting the 10 years old repo? Like anyone asked any question there?
I think there's a lot of broken issues, and then I think I just create like a comment over there to let people know that I built something similar, and yeah, I just put it there. Not sure who will read it, but yeah,
But yeah, I mean, this is the funny thing about developers. I mean, I would say like most of the people have the skill to fix it.
yeah,
We are so smart but also so lazy.
Mhm.
Instead of fix ourselves, we just wait.
yeah, because there's this
We just
angel.
wait for some angel to fix it instead of like just do it yourself.
Yeah,
But good for you. And I mean, you did it and you are helping everyone. So
yeah. So this vibe coding actually to get the image to scale down is actually the most simplest thing the AI can do. I think it did it in the first try.
which library do you use to resize the image?
Actually, Java itself is able to do all that already. So you don't need
Ooh.
additional library. The difficult part is building the plugin UI
Oh no.
because it's using
Oh,
Java Swing. Not sure whether you're familiar with that.
yes, I
Yeah,
did hear that before.
yeah.
Like it sounds painful.
So it's basically the vanilla Java that is doing UI, and it's not as
Yes.
intuitive as what we have right now in modern UI development. So yeah, but I managed to get it to work. Struggling sometimes it's easier to just Google. That's why although vibe coding sounds like a dirty word, but I think that it could be really helpful to get you 80% of the way, and the last 20%. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have any knowledge about coding, it could be super difficult. But if you have some knowledge of coding, I think it could be a tremendous help.
It depends on where and how you use it. If let's say you want to just like I mean, for example, a small like small project,
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's fine because how bad the code could be, right?
Yeah.
You're not writing 1 million line of code.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you have a existing code base that has like 1 million line of code or like at least like 200,000, 500,000 line of code.
All right.
At some point you ask AI to do the rest for you, it could be a bit messy, like it can be a bit hard to maintain in the future. But it works for now. But in the future you will not know. It depends on how you use it. You can use it in a very good way. Like you can ask AI to write unit tests for you because that's the most boring thing ever. No
Mhm.
one write unit tests, but you still need to write. And in my opinion, then that's the case that AI is really shy. It does a very very good job. But let's say you ask AI to write a very custom logic that only applies to your business logic, then it could be a bit challenging. But if let's say you write a little bit, then you can ask AI to improve it because sometimes you didn't think about the better algorithm you can use. Then I would say yes, I would say the best moment you should use AI to more like improve or enhance and continue instead of like from a blank canvas, like you have a empty custom function,
Yeah.
then you ask AI to complete everything. But if you give them some context, and I would say they can do a pretty good job.
I see. It's like if you have some knowledge, some domain knowledge, and then you're very specific in what the AI needs to do, yeah, I think it will work wonders. Because recently I'm working on some iOS tasks, and
Okay.
when I was using AI to try some like, oh, could you have this same method from Android? Can you port it to iOS, and can you do it in here in this specific area? I think it's amazing how quick and he understands what I'm trying to do, and then it follows what the iOS code convention and the style, and then they just converted it and made it work.
Yes, actually, for the case like converting, like especially like different programming language to another one, it works surprisingly well, which
Hmm.
kind of makes sense. Because like for the LLM, it's basically like translating another human language, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like in the past, we have those a lot of website, right? The weird website like you can convert from like Python to C++,
Yeah. Huh?
and it works. It works 50%.
Yeah. This is apples to apples conversion, right? But if you give like
Yes,
the
correct.
whole, if you give like a whole system, the whole business logic, then it couldn't understand well.
Yeah, I mean, I also did that. Like, I was, yeah, this the same case for the Home Assistant. Like, there were some code written in Java, like some algorithm in Java is calculating the humidity stuff, but I want to convert it to Node.js or JavaScript
I see.
or TypeScript.
Okay.
Yeah, I just paste it in the Gemini or ChatGPT, written in 1 second. It works perfectly nice.
All right.
So yes,
Okay. All
very
right.
good job, AI.
Really good job. Hey, hey, this is future editor Morgan. We realized we went a bit off ramp, dive into a bit too technical, but actually the exciting part is just coming right up when we talk about philosophy of AI and also the junior paradox, and we get to share about our junior experiences. I hope to see you guys there. See ya.